Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. You may notice I sound a little different. Well, either I'm developing a fairly bad summer cold, or my allergies are going absolutely insane. You will notice I did not do a stream earlier today, because I felt pretty rough earlier today, but I feel considerably better now, so we'll see how this goes. Alright, we are live. And yeah, pardon any niffling you hear over here. Can't do anything about it. I can mute my mic when I have to cough or something, but I'm not going to do it for everything. I should like to think the stableman has arrived with the Runic by now. I'll go on ahead and check. If you want to have a look around, then be my guest. Come and find me when you've had your fill.
Did we get that lookout behind this? On top of the building?
The one on the saloon? Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
A friend, I take it? Sorry to have kept you both waiting. Unruly wildlife's not the only source of recent distress, I'm afraid. Also been a rise in robberies targeting merchants. As a result, we've got a lengthy list of folks wanting to use the Renoic. Which is why I have to ask you to stop at Shishinawazi Springs? Okay, that's both hard to say and nigh impossible to say with a country accent. That's fine, of course, but why haven't the Dustwatch dealt with this banditry? Kamaka and his fellows are doing what they can, but they reckon the bandits are operating as a gang. Rounding them all up, easier said than done. If you have anything of value, you'll want to take care. Thank you for the warning. We'll be sure to stay vigilant. Right then. If you're ready to set off, I'll see you on your way. Ready? Then saddle up. Your friend seems to know the way, so I won't be bothering giving you directions. They are so large, I feel like people smaller than me would have considerable trouble riding one of these. I can't imagine what Zora looks like on them, in other words.
I know.
Well, it made mine smaller. Because mine looks smaller than yours, because I'm right behind you.
Gotcha. Now, I kind of hope that Lalafels are just hanging on by the tail.
That would be funny.
hilarious.
I know they're not, but they should be.
I leveled.
Congrats.
Crap.
Leveling in a cutscene. Well done. I wonder what the Terali are using the Ceruleum for. They don't seem to have much in the way of Magitech. Unless they,
Praying.
unless they have more Magitech than we are aware of at this time.
Mm.
That doesn't seem like something that Zoral Ja would be doing, but he could, I suppose. No sooner did we dismount than the next passengers are already on their way. They really are short on Roanoke. Probably just Ranik. But words ain't supposed to start with double R's. Now then.
Mm.
It looks the same as the last time.
Yep. This is the Springs, perhaps the busiest town here in Shaloni. People travel here from all over hoping to find their fortune. The change come to not even gonna try was surprising enough, but this is no less impressive. They've achieved a great deal in the 3 years I've been away. The station is on the eastern side of town, but there should still be time before the next train departs. If you don't mind, I'd like to pay a visit to an old friend of my mentor. Iate is her name, and if she learned that I passed through without saying a word, she'd never let me hear the end of it. She set out from our village some 10 years ago, hoping to earn coin as she traveled from, or about Taral. I could but assume she too came here seeking greater opportunities. In any case, let's see if we can find her. Her blue hair should make her easy to spot. That is true. Blue hair does stand out.
I used to have blue hair.
Unless she's wearing a bonnet.
Do you think she's a rabbit? Can't wear bonnet.
I'm betting she's a rabbit, yes. Called something blue, but I think it's a monster.
Is she in this blue circle or red circle?
Yeah, I have walked out of the red circle without realizing it.
I just keep nutting. Oh, found her. Tonal? Is that her?
It says blue haired, yeah.
Oh, I don't remember the name being Shatona.
Well, we're going to accost every blue-haired person we see until we find the right one. I'm guessing that Shitona is what they call the bunny people here.
Oh.
Yes, I'm Iate, and who might you be? He is my friend. Also, her hair doesn't look terribly blue in my screen.
I agree.
Could it be? Goodness, it is. Ellen. Aaronville, yes. A man grown. You were such a darling little thing as a child. You know, it's only been 3 years since we last spoke. Really? Only 3? I suppose it all starts to get hazy after a while, living as long as we do. Well, this is Iate. She's known my mentor since they were children. Nice to meet you. Well, now I have to ask, how long do bunny people live?
Yeah.
Never thought I'd see the day when you travel with company. You really have grown. Elinshipa. I'm just going to go with, is that what they call you here? I mean, if anybody understands going by different names, it's us. Alright, alright. I was born Elinshipa. I adopted a new name when I became a gleaner, one that adheres to the Eastern Viera conventions, so as to avoid drawing attention. Given that this is a homecoming, it was only a matter of time before you found out. Nevertheless, I would appreciate if you would continue using my chosen name. Don't worry, I've already forgotten the other one. A homecoming?
Valencia?
You know, I've been thinking of paying the old stamping grounds a visit myself. It would be good to see Kaikua? Kaisua? Kashua? I'm gonna go with Kashua. Kashua. She's the finest archer I know. Elinshpa's mother and mentor. Every time I dropped by, she'd treat us to a veritable feast prepared with fresh game she'd hunted herself. That's the first mention of her being his mother. You're impressive with the bow too, Iate, even among the Shitona. Oh, I couldn't compare to Kashua, but her skills at arms pales in comparison to her knowledge of nature. That's what earned her a place among the Galul Jaja, a place among Galul Jaja's traveling companions, after all. She was always the inquisitive sort, but her journey across Tyrol lit a fire in her. Even after Elinshpa was born, she often left him in my care so that she could embark on another expedition in search of the unknown. Well, I was running under the assumption that maybe she wasn't actually his mother and she just adopted him, but that kind of kills that theory. How you would cry and beg her to take you along. Must have been hard on you. Ate, please. What? We're all friends here, aren't we? I've now decided that I probably should have been using a southern grandmother voice for Iate, but I'm not going to do it. No matter how many times he asked, the answer was always the same. You could come over when you prove you're a true explorer. Thus did she ask me with finding the Golden City. Despite my best efforts, all paths led nowhere. I assumed it was but a dreamer's fancy, a ploy to goad me into experiencing the wider world. But it was real, and we found it. You found it? As part of the rite of succession, I assumed everyone had heard. That's amazing. She'll be thrilled. And eager to bombard me with questions, no doubt. Oh, we should be on our way. Thank you so much for stopping by. Give my best to Kashua. Help! I need help! What's that about? We'll investigate. Please wait here. It's the first time that Aaronville has been running toward the danger. Although I guess somebody calling for help is something he would run toward. Sounds of battle is something he would run away from.
True.
Smells like bandits. No doubt these are the infamous local bandits. Please, you have to help. I've been robbed. It's Namika, Wuklamat's nursemaid. What's she doing here? Coming in closer and will slit her throat from ear to ear. You so much as nick her skin, you won't live to regret it. Oh yeah? Hold on. Did he say this is Wuklamat's nursemaid? Maybe this ain't such a good idea. Take the goods to the boss. We'll deal with this. Please, you have to give it back. Well. Hello, gentlemen. You seem to be entirely without a hostage now. I'm going after Namika. This lot I leave to you. Cocky bastard, I'll hang him by the ears and feed the old woman to the dogs. We can deal with them later. First, we need to put this one in the dirt. Oh, sweet summer child.
I know. Oh, you precious little thing.
For some reason, that made me think of the ghost leper gnomes in the event going on in WoW right now, where as soon as you get near one, it just gives you a special action button that says punt, and you just kick the gnome into the distance.
Yeah.
Thank you. I don't know what I would have done without you. The bandit managed to get away, but I have an idea where they're headed. You said they stole something from you? A bracelet. It was a parting gift from Wuklamat. I see. Close as you two were, I can only imagine how much it meant to you. But what brings you all this way? With the right of succession ended and Wuklamat crowned as the next Dawn Servant, she's ready to stand on her own. I told her as much, and of my plans to return home to Yasolani. She gave me the bracelet that I might always remember our time together. It filled me with such joy. I wanted everyone to know, everyone to see this wonderful gift given to me by the vow of resolve. And now it's gone. I would have let them take every coin to my name, if only they just left me that bracelet. I would ask what you intend to do, but I know that look. I'll knock them senseless. It's what Wuklamat would want. Please, you mustn't put yourself in harm's way for my sake. I can assure you, no harm will come to us. He will make certain of that. I understand your methods can be brutal, but it would be wise to show some restraint, lest you find yourself on the wrong side of the law. Perhaps I should come as well, to be sure all proceeds as it should. I don't know what to say. I can see why Wuklamat put so much faith in you both. Before anything else, let's see her back to the springs. She'll be safer in town, and with Iate to keep an eye on her, we should have nothing to worry about. Thank you, both of you. I predict that we are about to become outlaws.
Probably.
We're gonna go smack around the bandits and find out that the Mr. Second in Command of the good guys is actually the head of the bandits. And he's gonna try to make us take the fall for him or something.
Blue steam stuff coming out looks cool. I know it's probably not healthy at all, but it's cool looking.
Well, I would definitely recommend that you don't go breathe it. But Anvil's told me of what happened, and you need to worry about Namika. If those bandits should find us, I'll kick up a fuss and see them driven off. That bracelet meant everything to her, and those bastards wouldn't care even if they knew. Makes me sick. But at least she's safe, and I know you'll set things right. Alright, let's go and recover that bracelet. While I have nothing but contempt for these bandits, as this involves a gift for Muklamat, we must be mindful how our actions might reflect upon her. I doubt Namika would find any joy in the return of a said gift if lives were taken in the process. If it comes to violence, I ask that you stop short of killing them. The rest, we can leave to the Dusk Watch. Well now, that makes me think you're strong. Really strong. Are you? I'm just going with option 2. No more than any other adventurer. Are we humble now? But the matter of fact way you say it makes me think it's a tremendous understatement. If your curiosity has been sated, then please indulge mine. Is there anything you can tell us about these bandits? Let's see. Well, of late, there's been talk of some unsavory types coming and going from Tonatanyawi to the southwest. Is that the old mining town that was abandoned? That's the one. Now that ceruleum extraction is big business, no one wants to waste their time picking at the dried up veins there. Sounds like a perfect lair for bandits, not to mention that the one with the bracelet fled in that direction. So you'd be investigating the place? I can let the Dusk Watch know if you like. No, not yet. It would be best if we went alone. There's something I'd like to ascertain, if you have no objections. Ah, Erenville thinks we're about to become outlaws too. Right then, let's be off. Seems the bandits have claimed the place for themselves. Oh, there ain't nearly enough of them. I can take them all at once.
Yeah.
They've made no attempt to conceal their presence. How could the Dust Watch not have noticed by now? A question for another time. First, we must find the bracelet. I don't see the bandit who has it. Perhaps they're in one of the buildings? Ramshackle as they are, it should prove a simple thing to eavesdrop on anyone inside. If you would go and have a look about, I'll keep watch for trouble. I think I'd rather just shake the buildings until they fall over.
Mm-hmm.
As ramshackle as they are, the people inside probably wouldn't even be hurt. The bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on any inside. As you lean in to listen, you begin to pick out voices in the muffled chatter. Don't know where we'd be without him. Probably shoveling sand, praying we'd strike it rich. Ain't that the truth? Only an idiot would work the mines with easier money to be had. Now, not when we've got a boss who can keep the dust watch off our backs. Hey, watch what you say. The wind's got a way of carrying secrets to the wrong ears. Maybe so, but who'd ever believe one of them sainted souls was running our crew? That drunk who bought your story about the gold shitting alpaca, am I right?
I see an ether current.
Indeed. Yeah, natural causes. Absolutely.
Agreed. They were naturally in the wrong place.
The bandits will not notice you here. You can safely eavesdrop on the inside, on any inside. As you lean in and listen, a familiar voice rings out through the wall. Let me out of here, you bastard! Shut your mouth, you sniveling little brat. Make me. I'll get you all back for framing my friends. The vulture most of all. You can all eat shit. Or you can tell him he eats shit. How about
Your version's good.
Yeah. How about we give you the chance to tell him yourself? We'll see how tough you are then. Bandits will not notice, etc., etc. As you lean in to listen, you hear someone entering the room on the other side. I brought back a prize you're gonna love, boss. Have a look at this bracelet. Beautiful, ain't it? Bet it was made by a famous artisan. You idiot, how are we supposed to move something like this without attracting attention? Boss, please, please, I'm sorry. Reckon we can find a sailor who won't ask questions. Sell it for a song. Here, your reward, and don't bring me this kind of grief again. I won't, boss. Thank you. Finished, are you? Let's retreat for now. So, were you able to learn anything? Their leader is a man of the Dust Watch? That would explain why these bandits have been able to do as they please. And you say they gave the bracelet to him? Seems we have our work cut out for us. Did you hear anything else of note? Zakoa? That's the boy who confronted one of the officers in town, isn't it? And you say they threatened to take him to speak with the Vulture, their leader's alias, no doubt. Fitting for a man who preys on the helpless. Well then, not only do we have a better idea of who's behind the recent rash of robberies, but we also know he has the bracelet. Retrieving it without bloodshed will prove difficult, though. If he's that quick to point a gun at his own underlings. Option 1 is the smart response. Option 2 is the one I want to use, so I'm going to do it. I'll storm their hideout. I can take them. The direct approach may have served you well in the past, but it won't suffice here. Woot is the deputy chief of the Dust Watch. He could claim we're the criminals in this, and no few people would believe him. I might have a plan. There's a small settlement to the southeast of here. What? No, not even gonna try. Meet me there and I'll explain everything. Dear game, could you please stop adding more syllables to each consecutive new word?
I like the music in this area.
I've got my mount music, so I don't even know what the music sounds like.
Oh, gotcha.
Didn't get much credit, but we got something.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that was like maybe a quarter of a quest's worth of XP from just poking an enemy for a second. So. If we're to retrieve the bracelet without conflict, it won't be done. It won't be done barging in through the front door. We'll have to lure him out. To do that, we'll avail ourselves of Hihi-Sea, dragon-like creatures that live to the south of here. It's their breeding season, you see, and the males will flock to the scent of the female in heat. With a few ingredients and a sample of their feces, I can create an attractant that resembles the scent when they're burned. We can then lure the dragons into the bandits' hideout, flushing out the vulture and his gang. Then, when they contend with our flying friends, we can sneak in and search for the bracelet. I'm afraid I must ask you to collect the excrement. While you see to that, I will go and procure the remaining ingredients. And if you were not zoomed in close enough, our character just crossed their arms and stared at him. And before,
goody.
And before you say anything, I do not ask this because of any aversion to feces. It would simply be easier for me to find the specific species of wild plants we require. Here, take these 3 pouches. See them filled, and I will handle the rest.
I love a good old-fashioned poop quest.
Indeed. Now, the hut log wants me to kill one. And I don't know if I'd call that a dragon, Aaronville. I would call that a pterodactyl. AJ, does DC?
No, he's moving.
Okay. As I came around the corner, I saw the icon appear next to his name for a second. Yeah, sure, Aaronville. I'll go collect what we need. I might have to kill all of the animals first before we find it, but that'll be fine, right?
Yeah.
I skipped straight to the one that stinks. Yeah, this be a dinosaur desert. Finished already, are we? A small hemp sack full to bursting with leavings. Though you pray to the 12, it doesn't actually burst. Excellent, this will do nicely. All that's left is to mix the feces with tumbleclaw fibers, dried Napolitander root, and a generous helping of animal fat. Come, let's get back to whatever that was. Potenyawi, I guess. Everything is ready. Time to set our plan into motion. You know, Aaronville, I think the fact that you're offering desserts as the reward for this mission is kind of disturbing, buddy.
I like their names better than like the food names they use in WoW.
True. The problem is that WoW used the normal names 10 years ago. They've got to come up with something new now.
True, true.
A fair number appear to be gathered inside. Now's our chance. I'll keep watch from here. The attractant I'll leave to you. Toss it into the bonfire in the middle of town, and the dragons will come soon after. So, I'm not allowed to just barge right in the front gate and start killing people, but you expect me to barge through the front gate and fight my way to the bonfire. Okay.
Yeah. Do so without killing anyone. We should have a staff or something.
Don't kill anyone other than all the people you've already killed.
Right. I like that there's lights on in the cabin now.
Oh, apparently this has a range. I guess we could have thrown it from back there somewhere.
Oh. Where's the fun in that?
And we're just standing there next to it and smelling it.
Yeah, we should have done the range. Oh, it's in the cutscene, sorry.
Yep. What's that smell? Ugh, that reeks. What'd you put in the fire? Wasn't me, I swear. Did something die? Someone want to explain that ungodly stench to me? Boss? Over there. Huh? What in the world? Run for your lives! So the smoke's what drew them here. I swear, when I find out who did this... I'd say our friends have stirred up enough trouble. Time to retrieve the bracelet. Hey, what's going on out there? I'm still in here in case you've forgotten. Oh, I accidentally skipped the next line. What, you gotta get me out of here now! They're gonna kill me! I'm begging you, please! Shh! They'll hear you! Shit, who was that? Hey, you gonna help me or what? I'm thinking about leaving you there. The bracelet must wait. Let's break him out and withdraw for now. And Zakawa says, thanks, I owe you one. For a moment there, I thought you might actually leave me behind. All that effort ought to show for it. Sorry about that, but damn, I didn't think anybody would have the balls to take on the vulture. No need to apologize. We were planning on saving you, eventually. Really? And I don't even know who you are. You secret admirers of mine or something? No, dumbass. I'm just having fun with you, but I do appreciate the help. This man they call the Vulture. I've seen his face before. Was he not the officer you confronted in town? One and the same. But he's not masquerading as a gang leader. He serves as deputy chief of the Dust Watch. That would explain why the bandits are so confident they can avoid capture. You're trying to get back something the Vulture stole, right? Let me help. It's the least I could do after you bailed me out back there. I have an idea where he's hid his cash. Reckon he's headed there now, too. We can go together. I've got a score to settle with him myself. I don't doubt that you do, but we need to know what it is first. Will you tell us? Right, so those bandits, they're called the Daybreakers, and it was me and my friends that founded the group. But it wasn't a gang of cutthroats, not back then. We just wanted to protect people who couldn't protect themselves. Kids being harassed by bullies, workers being exploited by the mining concerns, folks who needed help with that, help to even the odds. That was 3 years ago. What, when you were like 12? And whenever we found someone scheming in the shadows, we settled matters the best way we knew how. With a duel. Let's see. By the old laws, anyone who loses in a duel must be held to account for their crimes, even those in positions of authority. And we made damn sure they did every time. Before we knew it, our small band of friends commanded a force to be reckoned with. Then about a year ago, the Vulture and his thugs showed up. They got the better of us and took over the Daybreakers. Everyone was afraid of him, so they did his bidding without question. But when he showed them how they could make a fortune easily, that was when he really won them over. Now the Daybreakers is nothing but a bunch of bandits and cutthroats who prey on the people it was created to protect. Talked it over with my friends, Iwakana and Levine, and we all agreed only way to stop him was to challenge him to a duel. And he accepted. I still remember how he gloated that he'd win. But when the day came, he showed up with the Dust Watch and had my friends arrested on charges of robbery. As if that wasn't enough, he set their bail at a price no one could ever hope to pay. With them locked away, there was no one left to help me. None of my old friends from the Daybreakers, and certainly not on the Dust Watch. And that's why you were ready to challenge him in the middle of town. I was, until that guy with the spear stopped me. No sooner had I stepped out of the town than the Vulture's minions caught me by surprise, took me prisoner, and then, well, you know the rest. You said the Dust Watch would be of no help. And then are they all working for the Vulture then? No, not all of them. The sheriff, Kamaka, he's as honest as they come. A staunch keeper of the peace. Problem is, he's a little too trusting and doesn't suspect a thing. If it were my word against the deputy chiefs, who do you think he'd believe? Well, if he knows where this Vulture keeps his spoils, perhaps he can help us recover Namika's bracelet. What do you think? For what it's worth, I have a plan, but I can't do it alone. A plan? All I ask is that you hear me out, but not here. I'll be waiting for you at the springs. I have a much better plan. I guess we can decide what to do after he gives us the pitch. My plan is we take a quick trip back to Leolal. We get a piece of paper with Wu Clement and Quana's signature on it that tells the Dust Watch to do whatever we tell them to do, and then we get them to go and arrest this guy.
Yeah.
Of course, I guess if we went back and told Wu Clement about this, she'd insist on coming herself. But
Faster, I guess.
yeah. Good, you're here. This is where he hides his loot. I expect he'll show up soon. In town. Where people can see him. I mean, it's possible. He thinks he owns this town, so... Well, well, look who it is. Storing stolen goods here seems risky, but I suppose it's an option for someone who with his authority. Yeah, he moves the spoils in cerulean barrels, where no one would think to look. They're mixed in with regular shipments of fuel to Tuliolal, where they're sold off. Said he stole a bracelet of yours, right? If he knows you're on his trail, chances are he'll be eager to get what he can for it. But I doubt he'd trust a lackey with that business, given the provenance of the piece. No, I'll wager he's not letting that bracelet out of his sight till he's got the coin in hand. Wasn't sure what to make of you after, but I'm glad to see you're more than just an impulsive child. Well, not my finest hour, I'll admit. But there's a lesson in that. The vulture's a slippery bastard. If we're going to catch him, we need to back him into a corner with hard evidence. That's my plan. First, we need to lure him away from here. Over to the other town would be ideal. For that, I need one of you to help me. This will buy time for the other to search the barrels for any stolen goods. Using that, we'll expose him as a criminal. There's no way to tell if Wihwit's carrying the bracelet, but regardless, there'll be time enough to find once he's behind bars. But won't he simply feign innocence? Oh, he'll try, and that's when I'll challenge him to a duel. A duel. That approach didn't work out so well for your friends, as I recall. True, but unlike before, I'll challenge him in front of the whole town. That way he won't be able to wiggle out of it like before. Every man, woman, and child of the wilds understands the importance of duels in the old laws. The deputy chief would never disgrace himself by refusing. But wouldn't you be breaking the law by using a firearm in town? It's not as if we'd be using live rounds, but it's a risk I'm willing to take. How are you gonna have a duel without live rounds? What's important is I get him to duel with as many witnesses as possible. When he loses, and he will lose, that'll be the end of the vulture. The plan is not without flaws, but what do you think? This is 3 ways of saying sure. So let him have his duel. I want to see how they have a duel with no live rounds. Thanks. I sure was lucky running into the two of you. You won't regret this, I promise. If you're satisfied, then so am I. I knew I could count on you. I was seen, so it's probably best I stay and search the barrels. Then you're with me. Tell the vulture I tried to rob you, but you managed to overpower me. Even if he suspects a trap, he won't be able to resist taking the bait. You want to buy your friends as much time as possible and make your way to the other town. Once you've got the vulture there, I'll take care of the rest. All right then, let's get to it. A second. I have to change my glamour plate for a second because there is only one way the kid could have overpowered me. There we go.
We'll just go in as girls, and except for KJ. KJ can do whatever, but because he's that kind of person.
Yes, the dragons were likely that Shitoda's doing. What's his angle? Then there's the brat. It's past time I dealt with him. He's oblivious to your presence. Perhaps a gentle poke will get his attention. Huh? What's this? An unfamiliar face in these parts. Have you needed the Dust Watch, sir? What? Sakoa tried to rob you, but you apprehended him? I see. So desperate was he to see his friends free from prison, he turned to a life of crime. How awful. You have my sincerest thanks, sir. Might I trouble you to take me to him? Oh, man, I'd just say we take him out into the desert and kill him. Eaten by wolves. Eaten by dinosaurs. Whatever. Not that this is an appropriate time for me to play tour guide, but if you insist, the Springs is home to a thriving cerulean mining industry. The prospect of easy coin has attracted some undesirables, though. This the place? I'll see him. Just a little further. Let's see. There, well, lead on. There's gold in these fields. Blue gold. Best be wary of the beasts in these parts. They may prefer to snack on ceruleum, but for you, I reckon they'd make an exception. You're real useful, Mr. Cowboy Man. Is this the place then? Yeah, sorry, I'm still learning my way around. This some sort of joke? Well, let's keep moving.
All the cacti looks the same.
Mm-hmm. What in the hell is that? A very, very angry lump of fur. That's what it is. I'm gonna say someone fed it after midnight. This better be the place. I left him tied up around a big rock, but must have been a different rock. My patience is wearing awful thin, sir. If he isn't at the next place we stop, I may be forced to do something you and I will both dearly regret. Oh, I wish you would.
Give me an excuse, please.
Indeed. We're out in the middle of the desert. There's lots of big rocks that nobody knows which big rock is different from which big rock. I could put you under one of the big rocks. Would you enjoy that?
You're so sassy today, it's funny.
I don't know. He overpowered you.
Indeed.
A little bit. I don't know.
Unless you'd rather I feed you one raw, needles and all, cut the chit-chat.
Ooh.
Did we just walk in a circle?
No, we've walked all the way to the other town, haven't we?
Okay. I don't know. The towns look the same to me.
Yeah. We supposedly captured him and tied him up next to this town, and then we ran all the way to the other town to get the sheriff. Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Perfect.
Zakoa, your plan has a lot of holes in it. Alright, where is he? I don't see him anywhere. Where is Zakoa? Tell me where he is, or I'll bury you in the same grave. Confound it, he must have escaped. That's it. I've had it with these games, and I've had it with you. You looking for me? If you want to place me under arrest, you'll have to work a little harder. I'll be begging for a cell by the time I'm done with you.
Wahoote! Finally caught up to me, I see.
I did not see him sounding like that.
Oh no.
Well, well, if it isn't our young outlaw. You've taken up stealing, I'm told. Can't say I'm surprised about that, but I am surprised that you'd offer yourself up to be arrested.
Sorry to disappoint, but you're the one who's going to answer for their crimes today.
jewelry!
And my bag! So you found the stolen goods. That's fine work.
This barrel was at Shisenuetsi Springs, mixed in with others bound for Tuliyollal. The Landsguard would have presumed it part of the regular ceruleum shipments and waved it through. And once it reached its destination, it would have been retrieved, and its contents sold for coin.
The audacity. Do we know who's behind this?
Why, yes. Yes, we do.
As fortune would have it, I spied the leader of this operation being handed one of the stolen items. A bracelet, which Vau Wuklamat had intended for her nursemaid, Namika.
It was from the Vow of Resolve?
Oh, you've seen it then?
No, no, never. And if I knew who had it, I would have arrested the scoundrel.
Not nearly as smooth as I expected him to be. You would have had to arrest yourself.
What's the meaning of this, Wuhute?
It's a setup, sir. I have the bracelet, yes, but I only 'cause I found it. They're the real criminals. They concocted this scheme to frame me, so they could get me out of the picture.
If you feel your honor's at stake, there's always the old-fashioned... the law which folks have used to settle their differences for generations.
You don't mean...
Wuhute, the winner is right, the loser is wrong. Doesn't get simpler than that.
Yeah, have at it. Let your pistols do the talking! Please, do you honestly believe you can goad me into...
You refuse then?
All right, boy. But remember, you asked for this. Come on, Zakawa! Give him what for!
Shouldn't we stop him, Chief? Even if it's just rubber bullets, we're in the middle of town.
Be quiet. Just watch.
Rubber bullets from 5 paces. With their pistols on their backs.
Oh, you little shit!
Looks like you've gotten slow in your old age, Vulture.
You and I are going to have a long talk.
I apologize for dueling in the middle of town. But please, let my
You drew your gun within... But Wuhute drew first. Far as I'm concerned, you acted in... as are your friends.
Ha! You're not such a...
Just a man of the wilds. But to think that Wihute had taken control of the Daybreakers, it pains me that it happened right.
What are you gonna do about his crew? Some of them are still in...
Those who have broken the law will be taken into custody. But those who haven't will be given the chance to resume walking the street. What about you, Zakua? What do you...
Why? Protect the weak.
Here, this was Vawuk Lamot's gift for...
Yes.
I suppose this is where we go our separate ways. Mata?
I would like it noted that over-the-shoulder draw is not very good for quick draw.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that would be the better way to go.
Indeed. That ended up being rather more complicated than expected, but all's well that ends well. Finally, it's over. I couldn't have brought him to justice without your help. I don't know how I'll ever repay you. Apparently with 2 pitchers of wild banana blend.
Yum.
Also, I'm not even sure the duel was necessary. I mean, the guy was practically stumbling over his words, about to admit he did it at any given second.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, he practically admitted he did it the first instant there. Now that we have the bracelet, let's return to the springs. Will you be staying there long? I'd like to give you guys a proper thanks after I find my friends. We weren't planning on it, but there's no need to rush. We'll see you in the springs then. Erenville finally abbreviated it himself, so I didn't have to.
The other town, the other place. I liked that.
But yeah, I could just cut the word, or cut it down to just the springs, when it has big crazy word and springs. But this place I just had to call the other town.
Yeah. Wow, look at that fire serpent.
I must have missed it. My bracelet. Thank you so much. This is more than just a gift, it is a part of me I could never hope to replace. Truly, Wuklamad is blessed to have such devoted friends. Well, I wouldn't put it quite that way. I prefer to think of us more as long-standing acquaintances. Regardless of how you choose to describe it, there's no denying the depth of your bond, though I'm sure you'll continue to do so. Can't say I'm surprised the deputy chief turned out to be the bandits' leader. I always knew something wasn't right about him. An easy claim to make with the gift of hindsight. There you are. The real daybreakers have arrived. I'd like you to meet my 2 best friends, Quicana and Levine. If it wasn't for you believing in Zakoa and doing what you did, we'd still be locked up. You have no idea how satisfying it was to see that bastard Wahute put behind bars. We never gave up the hope that Zakoa would find a way to get us out. He always was the best of the Daybreakers. Glad he was able to convince you to go along with his plan. Unfortunately, our group's smaller now, and lacking in strength besides. Some outlaws might see us as an easy target. Even so, if anyone should give the Dust Watch the slip, the Daybreakers will be there. We'll train night and day, so no one will get better than us ever again. Isn't that right? Right. And you'll teach us how to draw pistols so fast, won't you? Well, we won't need to duel if all goes as it should. But on the off chance it does, we'd best make sure everyone can match or beat my speed. We owe you a great debt, and one of these days I'll be sure to repay it. On that, you have my word. Until we meet again. You'll excuse me. I shall find a quiet place to rest. As I'll be here a while yet, though, do let me know if there's any way I can be of assistance. Were you not planning to take the train home? Oh, train service has been suspended. Didn't I tell you? You mentioned no such thing. Something about the tracks being damaged in the last quake. The tunnel was closed as well. An earthquake? Must have happened while we were still down south. There have been quite a few tremors of late, and a rather large one struck not long before you two arrived. I can only hope no one was hurt. At any rate, if you want to know when service will resume, you should speak with the station master yourself. Let's do that. The station is just over there. And I'm going to have a conversation with Wook Lamont about sending an old woman walking home through the middle of the desert. You're the vow of resolve. You could at least send, like, you know, a few guards with her at the very least. These people are too happy about the train delays.
I'm so sorry, but we're not sure when the train will be running again.
You've got to be joking. Of all the places to get stuck at on the way.
Please don't tell me you've come to complain too.
We heard that the earthquake had caused disruptions, and wanted to ask when operations would resume. But I see that it will be a while yet.
I'm afraid so. Too few hands for too much It's time-consuming enough to inspect the tracks after every quake, but this last one we got after the succession ceremony was massive. Made a mess of a whole bunch of railroad.
The succession ceremony? We would have been in Tuliolal at the time. If it was as violent as you say, we should have felt it as well.
I have to admit, it was a touch strange, having seen my fair share of tremors. If I had to describe it, it felt more like the rumbling from an explosion.
Is there anything I can do to help?
Seriously?
What about you, my friend? If you'd rather strike out on your own, I understand.
Though, if you were willing to lend us a hand, too, we'd be truly tremendous. Thank you! Thank you so much! I'm Shenza, by the way. Pleasure to make your acquaintance. If you would please step inside, I can introduce you to everyone.
Sorry for dragging you into...
There they are. That's them, the two Walika is our station master, and over there is our top driver, Nitoikwe. And this grizzled mug is Zopia, an engineer who joined around the same time as me.
Much obliged for the help. I'll make it worth your while, I promise.
Something the matter?
I will admit I did not recognize them.
Oh, neither did I.
Trolleys? They're fine, I suppose, but they're no match for our cerulean-powered engine.
She's absolutely glorious, let me tell you. If you'd like to bask in her beauty, well, you should visit the depot behind the platform.
Right then. What I'd like you two to do is help us procure timber. We'll be using it to fashion new railroad ties, so it needs to be the strongest stuff we can get. In these parts, that means the trees in the Piata-Yonan Plain. It is Hetsaro territory, though, so we need to get their permission first. Come on, no time.
I was a little confused as to why the head engineer would be like 24 and very passive. But then I realized the train was probably invented in Tyrol in the last 2 or 3 years. Whenever Koana decided to tell them how it works. This might be the only train line on the entire continent. Though no small number live in Shaloni, I must confess that I've never visited the home of the Hetsaro. As they largely live in accordance with older tradition, I suspect they may have a dim view on railroads. Come, let's follow Walika. There's another station on the way, so be sure to drop in. The train will be in the depot, but you can still see it from the outside. I'm quite taken with the sleek design of the head end myself, though if you peek through the windows, you could probably catch a glimpse of. Enough jabbering, Shensa. Thanks to these two, we'll finally have some real work to do. So let's get to it. Well, see you later. I suppose there's no harm in stopping at the station, if it's on the way. Also, we're probably getting pretty close to the next dungeon. Since we're all 97 now.
Yay!
And we just hope the next dungeon is lighter on the giants with knockback. I must confess, the train is an impressive sight. How easy it must be to ship goods through the wilds now. Right. Mehwa-Hetson. Mehwadson. I don't know. Should be to the northeast of here. Let's continue on. My apologies, creature. The hunting board demands. I also find it funny that whenever I do one of these hunts that requires 2 kills, I always manage to pull a solo on the first pull and then a duo on the second.
Yeah, I think it happens every time.
Although I guess they drop crafting materials. Zora got some fleece and KJ got some meat.
Yay!
Ah, there you are. The village is just up ahead. Truth be told, I've never had direct dealings with the people of this town. But I do know that their traditions mean a great deal to them, as does the land.
The people of Meh.
Yeah. Ah, such lovely clean air. It feels like a treat after the overpowering ceruleum of the springs. The waters nearby are just as pristine. It's a paradise for people and animals both. I'm glad you appreciate the blessing of nature as we do. Greetings, travelers, and welcome. I am Huato, chief of this town, and this is my son, Shepto. A pleasure to meet you. And thank you for the warm welcome. I apologize for our sudden intrusion. I'm Wamalika, station master of Jalteral Railing. The recent earthquake has damaged our tracks, and we require timber to make repairs. These two have volunteered to assist us with the restoration effort. You've a most curious air about you, of oil and steel, tanned leather, and the faintest hint of tender grass of lands unknown. I gather you are not from these lands. I hail from Eorzea. Although the other option was also good.
Mine said pine, and I think it's probably because my original is from Gridania.
Could be. Truly. I would love to know more of you and the lands you have seen. I'm told your people have hold your traditions at the highest, yet I gather you are curious about those others as well. But of course, nature is boundless, as is our love for her lands and her children. The Hetso, in particular, have done much to guide our way of life. Where to hunt, to gather, to lay our heads, the Hetso teach us all these things and more. It is for that reason I believe that we attuned to the shifting winds around us. I see. The word Hetso means leader of souls in the Hetsaro tongue, does it not? It does. There are many creatures revered as Hetso among the Hetsaro. Here we look we look to the Runic for guidance. However, as you may have gleaned from our use of aetherites, while we are committed to our traditions, this does not mean we reject all outside influences. I was wondering why the aetherite was here. I'm kind of glad they mentioned it. That said, there are certain things that give us pause. Like ceruleum mining and trains. We will furnish you with the lumber you require. But first, as neighbors in this land, we ask that you indulge us in a discussion. We'd be glad to, of course. Wonderful. We do not often receive guests come such a long way, and my son is always so delighted to hear their tales. Now, if you'll follow me.
What do you call look what?
It's lookout.
I like how I'm 200 yards away and my music shifts when you guys go into combat.
Yeah. Need 3 of those dudes.
You guys already talked to this guy then?
No.
Oh.
Just did the lookout and got the aetherite. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We're just fighting stuff.
I have an outfit that has a tail like this guy's outfit. I have a top in my glamour chest. I think I can't remember what I got it from.
You got it. It was one of those drops, I think.
And he's actually making sound. The flute he's playing.
Yeah. Is that like a text message? Sound?
Yes, that was my phone.
Wow.
AFK for just a moment.
I thought it was one of those drops from in the when we get the maps in the bottle.
Oh, it might be. I don't know. I can't remember where I got it. Like I said.
Yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
You're fine. Can't say AFK too, but we picked up the aetherite, and then there was a lookout point.
I think I got those. Yeah. I came out here mining, so I don't know which ones I do and don't have anymore.
And I am back.
Welcome back.
If I'm wrong, if I'm not mistaken, this lake back here was the one I was asking about, Keth, how to dive back in the water.
Ah,
For me, it's
Push down.
there's an aether current over here.
critical space, but you have to have space in it. Oh yeah, I got this back here last time too. Right here at the end. I knew there was one out here, but I couldn't remember where it was. But the what's it called? The ore was way over there, and I barely saw it on here, and so I came over, grabbed it, and then I went over there and spent 20 minutes trying to figure out how to dive again. And I asked like 2 people that actually showed up, dived, and they're like, "Oh well, I just look down and go." And I'm like, "Well, I used to do that too, but it's not working." That's more of a wow for me. But anyway, for me, it's control or critical. Critical, yeah,
No,
space.
control's
Control. Yeah,
Oh,
control's
it's
right.
control. Yeah, critical. That's right. That was backward.
Thought I needed to sneeze there for a minute, but it didn't happen. Which means it probably will happen in just a minute.
correct.
I will speak frankly. We fear the winds of change will soon bring misfortune to the land. The Ronek have made the potential for danger plain. As you may have heard, their temperament has become erratic of late. A stableman near the other town mentioned that as well. Do you know what has caused this? We have our suspicions, since others were drawn to this land by Ceruleum. Shaloni has undergone a transformation. And the railroads are part of that. As strong and resilient as they may seem, Ronek are sensitive creatures. The roar of the train as it thunders through the plains may well cause them distress. As my father said, we do not necessarily reject outside influences or innovations, but in this, we can't help but worry. Understandably, I thank you for being forthright. The matter concerns not only the Hetsaro, but all of Shaloni. Perhaps we should bring it to the attention of Valquona. Valquona, you say? We know him only through rumors, but he is apparently, how shall I put this? Hard-headed and aloof. He values technological advancement and efficiency to the detriment of all else. Mind your tongue, Shepto. I mean, you're not far off, but he's getting better. While there's a grain of truth to the rumors, he is not nearly as bad as they make him out to be. His journeys have changed him for the better. So in the course of traveling with him, you witnessed him change with your own eyes? He fought beside Valcona in the Rite of Succession. I'd take his word over rumors. You took part in the Rite of Succession? You're that close to the Dawn Servant? I was grateful for any help, but had no idea I had recruited a bona fide hero. I mean, it's just another thing on the list. The succession of Dawn Servants filled us with uncertainty for the future, but there is clearly much we do not know. On this particular occasion, the winds of change are not meant to be feared. No, we must open our hearts and minds, and we might see Valcona for who he truly is. You think he might visit someday? Just as his father offered us guidance, I'm hoping that he will do the same. Thank you for hearing and allaying our concerns. I'm glad we could speak. As for your timber, we have freshly cut logs near the lake. Please take all that you require. We're terribly grateful. I promise we'll keep the Roanoke Forest foremost in our minds as we continue working on the railroad. And if needs be, we'll seek Valquana's counsel. My thanks again for your time and the timber. We shall endeavor to return the favor. I hope to see you again soon. But we've already been hinted at that it wasn't an earthquake that damaged the railroad. It was possibly a bomb. I wonder...
I'm putting money on the older brother.
Older brother? Oh, Zoral Jah?
Yeah, that guy. I was just remembering or the other dude that snuck in back there. I can't remember who actually had the tablets, if it was him or the other lizard dude, his counselor. No, he killed that dude.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet it was him.
The one that I'm concerned about is Quato there just implied that Quona's father used to lead them. I'm kind of concerned that his father, who in Quona's mentioned just abandoned him in the desert one day, might be a little more hardliner than these guys and might have blown up the railroad.
Oh, yeah. I didn't think. Well, we just heard about that though, so
yeah.
Okay. That's actually probably more sense, but.
Well, I imagine we will know soon.
Yeah.
It would not be the first time I've been wrong with the theory in this, so.
Well, stabs in the dark.
Yeah. We've more than enough timber to fix the ties. Now we need to transport it to the station, which will be a bit more involved than I thought. I didn't expect we'd been given so much. Mind waiting here a spell while I round up a few more hands at a Roanoke? Won't be long. I'm glad that went well, and thankfully it seems we won't need to make several trips for the timber. Okay, I like that sword.
Oh, nice looking.
That's pretty cool.
Shield's just okay, but sword's pretty good.
Yeah.
And the game is of the opinion that that's actually better than my relic. So. Erenville regards the pile of timber with undisguised weariness. While we wait, we could get started moving the timber somewhere more accessible. It shouldn't take long if we split the work. Timed. I imagine we want to avoid having to fight things.
I like that we're holding it above our head.
Yep. We had a quest like this back in Razatan, didn't we?
I think so, yeah.
I think this should be well enough. Or this will be enough. That was mighty kind of you to move all that lumber. Sorry we didn't make it back sooner. We'll see to the rest. Once we repair the tracks, we'll have you on the first train out of town. Ain't that right, Chief? As much as I'd like to make it so, there aren't any spots available. You'll have to wait for the one after, I'm afraid. But you'll be riding free of charge. It's the least we can do to repay your kindness. That's fine. Namika and a few others were along before we arrived. It's only right they go before us. I hope you'll stop by and see the train off. It's a breathtaking sight, let me tell you. And Nitawike will be driving. No engineer compares to her, and it's already a treat to watch her work. The only work we should be worried about is our own, Shinsa. And we've still more to do. I'll find somewhere quite near the station to pass the time. If there's anything else in Shaloni you're keen to see, I'll leave you to it. Prediction. We might not go on this train, but on the next one we will be spending most of our time on the roof of it.
Fighting?
Killing. Yeah. A dungeon, probably.
I'm betting that the train is attacked while we're on it and we end up fighting on the roof at some point. Because there's a train. If there's a train, you're going to be fighting on the train. That's the only reason to present a train.
Yeah.
You're going the opposite way, KJ.
No, I'm talking this concerned herder. It's a quest.
Oh, Aether Current quest.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's another one of those down south we might want to do. Well met, traveler. Have you perhaps seen the Renoa calf around here? Spotted a youngster south of Lake Tarai. It seemed like they'd gotten separated from their kin. With all the hungry fiends that roam this area, the poor beast doesn't stand much of a chance without someone to protect it. Thing is, I'm just not cut out to defend it from any would-be predators. You, on the other hand, seem more than capable of handling yourself. Would you be willing to seek out the calf and escort it back here in my stead? They ought to be somewhere to the south of the lake. Well, now I very badly want us to find this Renoic calf and then pick it up and carry it over our heads as we carry it back.
Why are they hitting me?
I have no idea which one of these is mine.
I know, I was just thinking that same thing.
Okay, it is actually following me.
There's fireworks going on.
I think that's just its feet stomping.
Oh. Oh, with all of us. Okay.
It does sound like fireworks, that's funny.
I just walked right up to this one.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure why, but my brain said, oh, there's our destination, and just walked right up to an enemy. You returned the calf. What a relief to see the Hetso unharmed. You'd be surprised how often Renoat calves go astray. In most cases, they fall prey to some fiend, but such is the way of nature. Though if you manage to get there before the fiends had raised the calf from a young age, they make excellent beasts of burden. I'm not suggesting I'd go as far as to kill a calf's parents to single one out, yet I do make a point of trying to rescue any stragglers I happen across. The way I see it, that's as much a part of nature as any other fate the Renoat could meet. Thank you, Traveler, for bringing this one back safe and sound. I shall do my utmost to care for it. Sus.
That's so funny, I have the same thought. I'm like, really now?
Ew. Like, liar.
Most people would not have even thought of that possibility. But no, my main theory about Kuona's father basically revolves around how much Kuona despises the traditions, and how I think he said that the traditions are why his father abandoned him.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. Are we just going to sit on this rock until tomorrow, Aaronville? Had your fill of the sights? Well, they appear to have almost finished. Upon proceeding, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to view these cutscenes in their entirety. I remember how concerned I was the first time we got that message back in ARR, followed by I think like 55 minutes of cutscenes.
Yeah.
A glorious grand machine indeed. I hope Namika was able to secure a seat.
Here she comes!
I hope Namika was able to secure a seat.
I know. Right.
Thanks to you, we managed to resume service much faster than anticipated. You have our gratitude.
There's nothing so enchanting as a cerulean-powered engine in motion.
Ain't that the truth? Don't think I'll ever tire of watching them chugging along. They make wagons look like toys.
And so long as we can lay the tracks, she can go on and on and on. Before you know it, she'll be crossing the entire continent.
Railroads are a somewhat recent addition to Tyrol. As it stands, we can only ferry folks as far as Yasolani. And from an operational standpoint, we still have much to learn. There's always some problem or another to deal with. But we'll keep working at it. We'll hone our craft and continue expanding till one day, our trains are running coast to coast. That's the ultimate dream. Goodness, I completely lost track of time. By now, I expect the train will be nearing Yasolani. When it returns, we'll see you on your way. So if you've got any preparations to make, you better make them quick.
Not another one!
You can't be serious.
That ain't no earthquake.
Gods have mercy.
What in the flying? What's happening?
Oh, the train! Nitowikwe and the others!
My home lies that way as well.
We're going to investigate. Right now!
What in the world? Are they heading for Tuliolal? Heavens forfend.
You're here. Good, good. They came from the sky and attacked without any... The people need our help.
Can you stand?
Try to remain calm, everyone!
Yeah! What the?
I don't know what they are, but they're not men.
Someone help me! Please! Oh! Oh!
Bastard!
What did it just do?
It stole their ether. Hello, Bakul Jaja.
Thank you.
Save. I'll hold the line here. Fall back to the palace. Quickly, before it...
Thank you, Bakul.
This is simply how I do things now. So, who wants to taste my blade next?
Hello, cyborg Zoralja.
That you should still live.
Sriracha?
By the gods, what has happened to...
This is your butchery, isn't it? After everything you've done in service to the throne, could you betray us?
My demand is simple. The dissolution of Tuliyollal and surrender of all its territories. Refuse, and I will kill every last one of you.
Have you gone mad?
No. My ambition remains unchanged. To teach the masses the folly of war, that they cry out for peace, and thus unite the world.
What has changed you so much, and in so short a time, to harm the very people you swore to serve? This is an unforgivable deed committed by my son. My son!
You have heard my ultimatum.
And you will have my answer. By my hands, I will.
The little Jaja's not making it out of this.
Papa, wait! I should be the one to do this.
No. His sins are mine to bear.
Fear not. Ozoralja is strong. He has never been Father's equal in combat.
Yeah, that's before they turned him into a cyborg, Quana.
I believed you long dead. To have the chance to kill you myself is an unforeseen blessing.
Farewell, Zoralja, my son. And forgive me.
He ain't staying down.
What?
How?
Despite his old age, the mighty Gulul Jaja remains a fearsome foe indeed. You retain the vitality of two souls, despite the passing of one. I shall even the odds.
Papa?
Even the blessed are mortal.
Father!
You are no match for me.
Murderer. On my honor. Has...
So the once faint-hearted girl would live up to her title. Very well. If only to demonstrate the disparity between us, I give you a chance to prove yourself. Rally the entirety of your strength. Lay siege to my kingdom. Strike me down, like I did father. Then, will you be his worthy successor?
Sriracha, wait!
My warships will remain in your skies. When you fail to prove your worth, I shall order them to lay waste to... Choose your next steps wisely.
I do have to ask one question. Kettenrum, how are you here?
Uh-huh. They better explain that.
Yeah, like, aren't you dead? But I also like how I had this nice theory about terrorism and fighting on top of a train, and FF14 said, nah, spaceships and cyborgs are all jaw.
Yeah.
No, Papa can't die. He can't. How could this happen?
Enough. I am beyond saving.
Father, please. You can't give up.
Are you there, oh friend? I'm right here. I'm right here. Look after my children. What? I'm an old fossil like you. I've only got so many years left. But if that's what you want, it would be an honor. You and I must go on another journey together someday. Aye, you can count on it. Oglamat. Kona.
Yes, Papa.
The graves of the Yokwi. You saw them, yes? I always found their teachings comforting.
Please, Father, you must save your strength.
Our flesh may wither and die, but so long as we are remembered, we are never truly gone. Through you, my hopes survive. Through you, I live on. So do not mourn me. Walk tall and see our nation to a brighter future.
I talked to Kettenrum, and he says, if only I'd been more careful. I require more information, please. Right. So, Valwuklamat, Valquara. I bring word from the city. The enemy has withdrawn, and the Landsguard have begun rendering aid to the people. Casualties within our ranks have hindered progress, but we continue to do all that we can. I thank you for the report. Please inform the Guard they are to prioritize such efforts until further notice. People. I need to help them. We will assist you in whatever way we can, of course. But thank you. There are sure to be wounded everywhere, more than I could count. We'll split up and help all of them. You can count on us. Alphino Nalize, could you take Bayside Bevy and cry on Erenville, the palace perimeter? As for you, please come to the resplendent quarter with me. We'll all meet back here afterwards. You and I aren't going to be able to do much healing, Wuklamat, but, sure. The weather has shifted to ominous clouds. Thanks. I think I'm alright. Did you see them? Those soldiers. They looked like people, but they killed and killed with no hesitation. If they attacked us again, how can we hope to defend ourselves? My current theory is the Golden City is where they locked away the evil Allegan AI. Yeah, that'll work. Thank you, sir. My husband and son, they were... My thanks. I'll be fine now. But we failed to protect the people. So many have to die. Where were where were Val Wuglamont and Valcorna? They're not to blame. I understand, I do, but I need to clear my head. Thank you. I thought I was done for. I heard something disturbing. The enemy leader. They said he looked like Zor Al-Jah. That can't be true, can it? Why would the First Promise attack his own people? If it was him, what happens now? Is he going to come back? What do we do if he does? Thank you. The pain is better now, but I can't stop shaking. Where did they come from? Why did they attack us? And why are those things still in the sky? We had peace under Galul Jaja. We were safe, but now... Finished dating the people here? Thank you. There were children among the wounded. Children. No, now isn't the time. There's still others who need help. Could you go and see how things are at Talon March? And afterwards, go and find Alice at Bayside Bevy. You're breaking the plan, Wuklamot. There is no evidence of significant damage from the battle. The fighting did not spread this far, it seems. The fresh scorch marks on the ground are doubtless from the enemy assault. The shop appears to have weathered the chaos, though its wares have been strewn across the floor. Alright, this isn't really a theory, this is just a thought I just had. It's gonna be funny when we run into Estinian next, and find out Estinian was here the entire time investigating this. And we've just been doing side quests while he's been doing the real work. The port remains unscathed, but the enemy ships continue to loom overhead. They don't need to destroy the port. They could just destroy any ship that tries to leave. I just saw another Zora run past.
Oh. Rude, she's got my lame.
Helped all those I could find, and see them delivered into the Lance Guard's care. As many casualties as there are, it would have been worse if the Lance Guard hadn't fought as bravely as they did. And if Zor Al-Jah actually meant to harm the people. I mean, look around. The buildings are hardly damaged. I suspect his aim was more to incite fear, to show that he could strike whenever he pleases. But we can discuss that later. How is Lamati? Even after what happened to her father, she's trying so hard to fulfill her duty to the people. Still, everyone has their limits. She needs rest, and soon. Someone mentioned that seeing her headed towards the shore. Perhaps she's gone to truck Gleamland Sands? Found her.
Steady now. I've brought you medicine.
There you are, Lamachi. I was beginning to...
Come on. Come on. Take it. Please.
Lamachi. Lamachi!
How? How could I?
Look at me, Lamachi. You need rest. You and him both. I will tend to this sore.
But my people... I have to help them.
The Landsguard have matters well in hand. If there's another attack, your people will need you to protect them. They'll need you to be sharp. So please rest.
I stood before them all. Said that we'd build a nation where every... So much for that promise. What good is a vow of resolve who cannot save her people? You're right. This isn't the time for sulking. Thank you. My head's a little clearer now. I need to concentrate on what I can do, rather than what I can't. We've dealt with unfriendly factions before. From Yokhui still longing for conquest, to adherents of blessed siblings. Even so, I believed that by learning about one another and engaging in good faith, we could peacefully settle our differences. And we did. My brother is different. There'll be no reasoning with him. He killed our people. Our father. He'll stop at nothing to achieve his goal. What's more, he has power. The power to destroy the peace we've worked so hard to preserve. If I'm to protect that peace, then I must fight. I must confront Zorolja and kill him.
I'm fine. I just need a moment to settle my nerves. Thank you for being there for me, and for urging me on despite all my sulking. Sitting around complaining isn't very leader-like, is it? So much has happened so quickly, I struggle to make sense of it all. The strange soldiers, the floating ships, the new powers Zorolja commands. Given everything he's done and still intends to do, I know I can't afford to run headlong into battle. Not this time. I cannot let this terrible pain in my heart lead me astray, but I will make it to my strength, and the strength to do what I must. Right. I'm heading back to the palace. I need to talk strategy with Quana. Could you and the others join us in a while? However we decide to proceed, I want you all to be aware of it. Oh, and could you tell Alice I'll be alright? She's probably at Bayside Bevy. Jump down, KJ. Oh, you're back. By that, I take it to mean Lamati is feeling better. She needs to be strong for the people of Tyrol, I understand that. But she doesn't have to do it alone. So if she intends to fight, then we fight. Together. That said, I wish I knew exactly what we were up against. Rats, KJ. It's clearly not a person, but it doesn't look like an automaton or Magitech weapon I've ever seen. As far and wide as you've traveled, though, perhaps you've encountered something similar before? Would you mind taking a closer look? It may yield some clues as to Zoraljaw's new powers. Examine the fallen soldier. You may move the camera as well as zoom in or out, target an area, and inspect it with the mouse click. In place of where eyes or a mouth should be, you see a strange sigil on the front of its helm. Yes, a sigil straight out of Squid Game. From a distance, it appeared to be simple armor, but upon closer inspection, its construction is quite intricate. The material from which it's made is unclear, and you see no signs of a power source. The general shape of this weapon resembles a gun, but its construction suggests it's far more advanced than anything you've seen before. So, what do you think? Looks like a person, but it's clearly mechanical. Indeed, while it resembles a person, it has features that make it uncanny. The lack of a face, not least of all. Do you see any sign of a power source? So it probably doesn't run on ceruleum or any other conventional fuels. I tried channeling ether into it earlier, but there was no response. That would seem to rule it out as an arcane entity. It's completely lifeless now, a far cry from the unstoppable enemy it was in battle. Even the material it's made of is a mystery. Rather than a metal, it's more akin to stone. Wait, haven't we seen this somewhere recently? We have. It's Sky Deep Cenote. That's right. The glowing stone used in the chamber with the gate to the Golden City. And while the soldiers are a different color, the warships are the same black as the stone of the gate itself. There has to be a connection. Let's share our observation with the others when we return to Sunperch. The sooner we get to the bottom of this mystery, the better. Yeah, I think that's probably where I'm going to have to call it for the day, guys.
Okay.
I've been having sneezing fits over here. Alright, guys, that's where we're going to call it for today. And I will see y'all next time. And until then, I want to thank y'all for joining me. Hope y'all enjoyed it. See y'all next time. Have a good night.